Danger Dolan. So Dakota Die Trick asks, when do you expect the new playable race models to be released? The last news I remember hearing about them was that they were 25% done and people have been demanding them for years. Do you think that the new models are just vaporware like the Dance Studio? So unlike the Dance Studio or Path of the Titans, new character models are very high on Blizzard's priority list. So no, I don't believe it is vaporware, and in fact, Zaha mentions that they have meetings about these character models all the time. It's very important to them. So we've had a bunch of new models like Goblin and Worgen and Pandaren, and they make the old ones from Vanilla to BC. They look terrible now. Like human females have square feet, the males and the orc males just have these flapping mouthpieces. But the thing is, Blizzard are very careful about maintaining the old character feel. Like just because they do a HD remake of a troll male, it doesn't mean they're going to be standing up straight and walking around like everyone else. They're still going to be hunched over and taking long strides. I mean, that's just who they are at this point. It's just going to be an update for everyone so that they can fit in with the world of Azeroth as we know it today. And bear in mind that all NPCs will change as well. I mean, most players, including me, have our cameras zoomed all the way out, but it's the fact that when you look around it in towns and other characters, they all look different too. Even the gnome that features at the end of every one of my videos, he'll look different too. And the reason these remakes are taking so damn long is because their team is a certain size, they have a certain synergy. They can't just hire like 50 artists for this one thing. It's a business, they have to actually hire these people, you know, permanently, and they're not going to do that just for some remodeling. Now here are my thoughts. I am very concerned people are going to hype this up way too much. All they're doing is updating the textures, they're redoing all the models and the skeletons. They're not adding new dances or new animations, they're just updating it so they look better. I feel like people expect this to change everything. Alright, it's the difference between looking at WoW on a standard low definition monitor and a widescreen high def one. It's the same game, it's the same thing. It just looks a little bit better. Like 25%, it is disappointing, I'll grant you that. Ideally they should have just said nothing at all. But the fact that it got such a response that people were really disappointed that that happened, it gives me the impression that people want the impossible. It's just nicer looking, there's nothing new here, it's the exact same thing you've seen for years and years. I'm also concerned because they can't maintain the old models and the new ones simultaneously. There's a lot of complicated coding involved and it's just not feasible to have both running at the same time, which means you can't like glyph to have your old model for your character, which is besides the point because the rest of the world will look different anyway. So if that does happen, is there going to be a public outcry like there was for Cataclysm? I mean, people got upset when they changed the human female blink, for God's sake. What are they going to think when they completely overhaul every single character? You know, I personally don't really give a shit. I want high definition character models, but some people are so invested in this game. They've got such attachments to it. I feel like no matter what Blizzard does, no matter how careful they are, people are still going to throw shit at their face. I would also like to see more customization options, not less. Like the Worgen, for example. Like hair choices are just very few and far between. There's barely any difference between them. I want my character to look completely different to everyone else just by changing hair or the face type. They say they're going to roll out the new character models throughout the next expansion, like in patches. So if that's the case, will that mean half the world NPCs will look like shit through half the expansion? Personally, I would just like them to just finish all of them and release them all at the same time, so we don't have this ridiculous inconsistency as we go. But I'm sure most people would rather see them sooner than later, and that's fair enough. If we do roll them out as we go, I imagine we could base each one of these patches on a different race. So maybe there's like a troll raid and then some night elves show up and we do their thing. Something like that. That's it for this chat box. If you'd like to see me cover a topic really quick, leave a comment below. Have a good one.